Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another review. This will be quite a special review because today is Halloween. Yes, I have delayed my review that would normally come out for Saturday to today, which is Halloween. So yeah, very special review. Very excited. I'll be reviewing the Headless Horseman of Halloween, which is the 5th episode of the Scooby-Doo show season 1. So yeah, we'll get straight into the review. So yeah, the episode starts off as we see a whole bunch of teenagers having a dance, and then we see a mysterious figure come out of the dark, and it's actually the Headless Horseman, and he's, creepily looking around, riding his horse. Very scary. But we see the dogs and Scooby Dum and Shaggy. They're all having some fun with the gang at a Halloween party. Shaggy dresses up as a vampire, and yeah, he goes dunking for an apple. His apple rolls away. He goes outside to go get it, and he spots the Headless Horseman. Meanwhile, the rest of the gang, Daphne, Velma, and Fred, go in to this creepy room with this teenager who runs the party. And she basically tells them about the legend of the Headless Horseman and the fact that he chased off her great-grandpa, Ichabod Crane, and Ichabod basically was chased off by the Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman was once a soldier, but his head got shot off, and he's been searching for a head ever since. We also encounter Tarlock the butler, and we also encounter Cousin Elwood and Aunt Gertrude. Then Shaggy, Scooby, and Scooby Dum come rushing in and say they saw a Headless Horseman. And then they go out to the party room, and then the lights go off, and then the Headless Horseman shows up very mysteriously, and he quotes that "I want a head," and he's searching for a head. Everyone runs away, the party's over, and Elwood explains that the Headless Horseman's come for Aunt Gertrude's diamond, and he volunteers to take it, away from the manor so they can protect Aunt Gertrude, because there was a hand that mysteriously came out of the wall. Everyone suspects Tarlock because his hands are white, but Scooby notices that it's just powdered sugar, and then the gang go off to go watch Elwood drive off, but then we hear this loud boom, and then the Headless Horseman comes running, but Shaggy says he's not headless anymore. In fact, he's got Elwood's head, and now it's Elwood's head that belongs to the Headless Horseman. The gang go off to investigate while the rest of the family stay behind where it's safe. Shaggy and Scooby go upstairs to the attic to explore. They discover a bowling ball and a mysterious cape that Scooby Dum accidentally falls into. They think they've found the Headless Horseman, but they haven't. Then Velma finds some wood chips and goes off to show Fred and Daphne. But then the Headless Horseman shows up, chases Shaggy, Scooby, and Scooby Dum around the attic, and they trap him in this sewing machine, but he gets away, and then they go out, and Elwood gets taken, and they go off and they find the car that Elwood was driving smashed into a tree with Elwood's clothes and the Headless Horseman's pumpkin head left in the car. Also, Fred notices that the car keys aren't there, and Scooby Dum finds a little picture of Elwood, and Velma's quite suspicious. Then they go off to the grave, and on the way, they encounter Tarlock, who says that the power lines are down, and he's making a phone call. And Fred's very, very suspicious of that. And then Velma and Fred, they go and they they go to the crypt of the Headless Horseman, and they start crating in. They find it empty. They find it that they couldn't open it because it was stuck. And Fred says that finding nothing here is a good clue. And then Shaggy finds a newspaper clipping about flying saucers, conventions, and Mars. And then they've realised that they've solved the mystery. So they go off to the airport because Fred says that's where the Headless Horseman will be. Sure enough, the Headless Horseman shows up. He gets past Fred's trap, but Shaggy, Scooby fall into the plane with him. While Scooby grabs a fishing net and tries to catch them when they fall out. The Headless Horseman then chases them around the wing. He eventually falls off, as well as Shaggy and Scooby, because the plane breaks, and he's trapped. Then the reveal, unmasking the Headless Horseman, it turns out to be Cousin Elwood. Shaggy tries to pull his head off, but it's actually not a mask. It's actually his face. And he stole the diamond. He didn't steal it, he took it so he could sell it. Finding the tomb empty meant that the Headless Horseman didn't come back from the grave. He also made the mistake of taking the car keys out of habit, and leaving Elwood's clothes and his pumpkin head in the car, at the back of the car. The little photo of Elwood was actually his passport photo to fly out of the country. But the biggest clue of all, well, not the biggest, the second biggest, was Tarlock said that the power lines were out because someone chopped it down with an axe. That's what he did to cover his tracks. That's why they found the wood chips. And that also explains that he couldn't have phoned the bank manager, because Elwood said that he did phone the bank manager. And he ended up trying to sell the diamond, because on the other side of the story that Shaggy found shows that Elwood's company went out of business and he was going to sell the diamond, most likely on the black market, to make money, to save his company.
Here he is, Sheriff.
And, let's get this phony Elwood mask off and see who this Headless Horseman really is.
Let go of my face.
Cousin Elwood.
Cousin Elwood?
Nope.
He was after Aunt Gertrude's diamond all along.
And it would have been the perfect crime if you kids hadn't crossed me up.
Well, we'll see you get a perfect jail cell instead. Come on.
How did you know it was my cousin Elwood?
The missing car keys were the first tip-off.
When Elwood abandoned the car with the pumpkin in it, he grabbed the car keys out of habit.
Right. And then there was the tiny picture of Elwood that Scooby-Dum found on the end of his nose.
No.
That was the passport photo so Elwood could fly out of the country. But we didn't figure that out until the butler mentioned that the phone line was down.
Which meant Elwood had to be lying when he told us that he had telephoned the bank manager.
Then you found the biggest clue of all, Shaggy.
Yeah. I did?
The newspaper clipping.
Flying Saucer Lands at Beautician's Convention?
Look at the story on the other side, Shag.
Apex International Shoe Manufacturers files for bankruptcy.
Oh dear, Elwood's company went broke.
Right, he was going to leave the country with the diamond.
And everybody would blame the Headless Horseman.
Like he said, the perfect crime. Till we found the clues that made it all look fishy.
And yeah, that's the end of the mystery. I give this one a 10 out of 10. It's probably one of my favourite episodes of Scooby-Doo, including movies as well to watch on Halloween. Probably is, actually. and Halloween's the time I enjoy it the most. The only problem with this is it's a 10 out of 10, and it's probably not even in my top 20 for this show. That's how good this show is. But it's still a 10 out of 10 episode. It's very, very perfect. The mystery is very, very entertaining, I found in this one, upon rewatch since the last time I watched it. And also, I really liked the spookiness of Elwood's head actually being on the Headless Horseman. Made it a lot more scarier than usual. Also, like, the gang at the teenager party for Halloween. That's just something teenagers would do, and I find that so calm and relaxing, and I feel like the setting for this episode is really, really good. I feel like they did everything perfect. Every single character was great. I like how they had a lot of characters as well, because, yeah, they definitely needed it. But, yeah, this is probably one of my favourite episodes to watch at Halloween, and I hope you enjoyed my Halloween special as well, because I sure did. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for some more videos coming out on the channel. Nearly done Pickle Scooby-Doo. Also, I need some more episodes to review. I haven't reviewed many as well, so please request some episodes down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.